Processed foods. It's a term most of us have heard, but few understand. Yet, by most accounts, anywhere from 60 to 80% of what we eat is processed, which means that the food in question has had a series of mechanical or chemical operations performed on the food to either change it in some way or preserve it. But in the heart of Frisco, there are a couple places that strive to eliminate the processing of food. The Heritage Table, as well as the Frisco Fresh Market, both located in downtown Frisco, offer food from local farmers directly to customers. This allows for a farm-to-table environment that gives people a way to eat healthy and avoid processed foods. At the Heritage Table, this means extra work in finding the best products.
We looked everywhere, everywhere within about 150 miles, and we have a lot of farms, a lot of producers that are outside of that. Many of them still in Texas, some in some bordering states, and we do still get some commodity stuff from California because asparagus doesn't grow well in Texas in the middle of winter. But it was going to visit farms. That's fun for me. I like it. You don't start a restaurant if you don't love food, and seeing where that food comes from is cool to me. Most of these farmers are truly, truly passionate about what they do. You have to be, because it's not easy money. It's hard work. But seeing them, talking to them, you learn about the food. They love to see what you do with their food too. And really you connect with almost all of them if you care. If you care about the food, because they care about the food they're raising. So we picked them based on personal connections, which is cool. We're picking our food and who raises our food based on personal connections. That's a cool thing to me. But also, we asked other chefs. I went to other restaurant owners and said, I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of them in Dallas, in the Dallas area, and went to them and said, who are some of the farms that are doing really cool stuff? Like who needs money? Who should I be giving my money to for a great product? And most of the chefs in Dallas that are truly conscientious about that sort of thing will tell you, because they want those farms to grow too.
But it doesn't take a trip to Heritage Table to cut out processed foods. The Frisco Fresh Market, less than a mile away from the Heritage Table, provides local residents the chance to buy straight from the farm.
The importance of buying from local vendors, for one, obviously, it supports businesses that are local to the area. That way they can bring more quality product that is fresh, that is grown locally. We are meant to eat seasonally. And the big box stores, they kind of systemically have destroyed that nature's law of us eating seasonally. So people used to having tomatoes in January and things like that. Human body is designed to receive certain nutrients at certain times of the year. So supporting local farmers, local growers definitely kind of assists in that endeavor, and besides, it tastes good.
It's also better for you in most cases, as processed foods are more likely to include added sugars, artificial ingredients, refined carbohydrates, or dangerous chemicals used to ward off insects and other things that might harm a crop.
Honey Badger Crossing, we are strictly organic farm. We don't use any pesticides, any chemicals. Myself and my wife, we've been eating organically for quite some time now. We refuse to compromise and resell, the same products that big box stores sell. Eating organically, some people will say it costs more money. It really doesn't, because for one, the nutritional value that you have in organic food is significantly higher than other foods. And then when you add 10, 15, 20 years down the road, the possibility of medical bills that result from eating GMO foods and other stuff that you do get at your local grocery stores. Not only are you saving money, you're making your life better. Again, it does taste better.
Shopping for food straight from the farm can also be an interactive family experience, allowing children a buy-in to eat healthier foods. According to kidshealth.org, teens should fill half of their plate with fruits and vegetables, with dark green, red, and orange vegetables providing high levels of the nutrients needed, such as vitamin C, calcium, and fiber. All these natural resources are grown and sold around Texas, with places such as Frisco Fresh Market making it easy for local residents to find food straight from the farm.
Farmers market, it's an interesting concept that is a lot more common in Europe than it is here in the United States. I think it's an interesting thing. We see more families coming out with kids, kind of showing them this is what this product is, this is what this vegetable is. Kids, not just kids, adults as well, get to see how different organic, naturally grown produce, not only how different it tastes, but what it looks like. It's not perfect, duplicated product. People are in the open air. People get to interact with vendors, with people that actually grow food, with people that provide food to their table, versus buying from a store where, kids work for the minimal wage, just checking people out at the counter. People ask questions. People ask, why is this flavor different from the products that they bought from the store? They start to understanding what difference the soil makes, what difference good water makes.
The taste and health benefits of farm-to-table food extends well beyond vegetables, according to Vanna.
The pork from Chubby Dog Farms, where we get our pigs, we get whole pigs and we butcher them here. The meat is red. It's not like pork that has been commodity raised, sitting in a little pen that's this big and they can't move at all. The muscles have been used. It's got the hemoglobin in it that looks a little more like beef than it does like white meat, and it eats like a steak. It's beautiful meat. The difference is night and day. I mean, almost two different animals.
For people that don't want to cook farm-to-table style, restaurants such as the Heritage Table do all the work in what they say is a responsible, sustainable way.
Well, our tagline is real food, good times, old traditions. Again, it's something that's easy to say, flows easily, but it also means being close to our food. It's not just baking our bread or making our own pickles or things like that, but it goes back to the farms. It goes back to taking every step you can from day one of whatever that food is, making sure it's the very best. We find that in our kitchen, once the food gets here, we find the best practice is do it from scratch. Control every step that you possibly can. And from previous to that point, we want the people, the farmers, that are doing it the best way they possibly can until it shows up at our door.
The farm-to-table trend extends well beyond Frisco, with at least one major grocery store chain trying to concept as Kroger launched a pilot program at 2 stores in Washington. But here in Frisco, there are a fresh variety of ways to shop and eat straight from the farm without leaving the city. Reporting for WTV, I'm Cindy Andros.